Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. Today we are talking all about YouTube, more specifically my first year on the platform, everything I've learned, all the mistakes I've made, and basically just what a realistic first year on YouTube looks like for somebody who doesn't have like an instantaneous blow up. So I've been on YouTube for a little bit over a year now. I posted my first video on May 15th, 2021, and I've been creating content pretty much every week since then. I'm currently at 846 subscribers at the time that I'm making this video. I've hit my 4,000 watch hours, so I'm pretty close to being monetized, and I'm honestly pretty proud of and happy with the progress I've made on YouTube so far. To be close to monetization in my first year is kind of everything that I could have asked for. So I have a matcha, obviously. Let's just get into all of the takeaways. This first one is a lesson that I learned the hard way, and I'm hoping that you won't have to. Don't sacrifice your channel vision for views. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. So about a month into starting my YouTube channel, I think it was late June, I was just on YouTube scrolling, looking for something to watch, and I noticed that a lot of these Olivia Rodrigo Sour album reactions were popping up on my YouTube suggestions. And I don't usually watch reaction content. That's not what I consume on the platform, so I thought it was kind of weird that these videos were being recommended to me, honestly. I remember thinking like, maybe I should just make one of these. Like, it seems like they're popular on the platform right now, and like, I kind of took it as a sign that I was randomly seeing them on my suggested page. And whether or not it's a sign, who knows, but that video did end up popping off for me. The views and the comments and the likes that I got on that video versus the first 3 videos I posted on my channel, it was night and day. I want to actually show you guys the analytics from that time because you can really see how drastic of a shift it was when I posted that video, and I think you can really get a picture for why after that video was posted, I really got swept up in the views and the numbers. Okay, so we've jumped over to my laptop. I want to show you guys what these analytics really looked like when I posted the reaction so you can get a sense for just how crazy it was for me at the time, 1 month into YouTube, to see these kinds of numbers. So this is a look at my views from 2021. This is about where I started my channel. 1 view, 4 views, 1 view. I was getting single-digit views per day, obviously. I mean, I had nothing to grow off of, and I had only uploaded like a couple videos. But I think around here, June 3rd, must have been when I uploaded this sour video. First week, it got okay views. Like, it was definitely more than I was used to, but nothing crazy. And then we see this peak. On June 11th, about a week after I uploaded the video, I got 2,000 views in 1 day. I actually don't know if I have passed that peak even today. Let's check. Yeah, no, that was the most views I've ever gotten in a day. And it came off of getting literally single-digit views up until that point. I mean, to say that I was shook by this was an understatement, and I'll talk in a second about these other peaks and where they came from. Back to the main clip. I hope you enjoyed this look at my analytics. Bye. So after that video did so well on my channel, like you guys just saw, it was a huge spike in my analytics, and it was honestly really, really exciting as a beginner YouTuber who had only posted a few videos on the platform to see those kinds of numbers. I got really excited and really swept up in this like newfound opportunity that I saw in front of me. So basically, I did what a lot of YouTube growth type people tell you to do, and I leaned into it. I was like, okay, if this reaction video is doing really well, maybe if I post more reactions, like those videos will do well too. And they did. Every time I posted a reaction video, it got thousands of views. I basically developed this new strategy where I felt like I was gonna have 2 halves of my content. 1 half was gonna be the reaction videos, and that's what was really gonna help to grow my channel in terms of numbers. And then the other half would be brand videos. So content that I actually wanted to be making, that I actually wanted to be known for. And my plan was always to eventually stop making reaction videos, lean into the brand content and my actual vision for my channel once I had grown a following. That was my concept at the time, and while it kind of sounds like it makes sense, what I quickly realized was that the subscribers that I was gaining from the reaction videos, they weren't really subscribing for me. They didn't give a shit about me or what I had to say or what I liked. they only cared about the artists that I was reacting to. I was basically building an audience off of someone else's audience, and I realized that that was just not what I wanted to do. Yes, it may have been a faster way to success to talk about other people, but it wasn't building an authentic audience of people that would care about what I wanted to create. So I quickly realized basically that that was not a good strategy. Even though I had a couple hundred subscribers who had subscribed to me for that content, I basically decided to do a 360. I deleted all the reaction videos on my channel besides that original Olivia Rodrigo reaction, and I decided I was going full force, just making the type of content that I like and that I wanted to make. And I also was very aware that if I waited longer to make the transition, I was gonna build a bigger audience of people that were expecting reaction content from me, and it would be that much more difficult to then pivot later down the road. So I'm so glad that I changed when I did. And honestly, my advice to you is if you feel like you're in a similar situation where maybe you're making content to chase views, or people want content from you that you're not really interested in making, make the transition as soon as you can when your audience is still small, so you don't get further trapped later down the line, because it can be really exciting to see those numbers. It's really easy to get swept up in the analytics, but you're gonna be so much happier at the end of the day if you're making content that you're passionate about and that you're excited to be making and that you want your brand to be. Your brand vision is important, and I don't think it's something you need to have completely 100% figured out right away. Really, when you're starting out, don't get too caught up on the idea of your niche, because that's something that you'll start to find over time. And I still feel like I'm trying to figure out my niche or what type of content I'm gonna make. At the very least, like, make sure you're making content that you actually like, that you're proud to be making, and not content that you're embarrassed about or you're just making for the numbers, for the views, because it is a very unfulfilling place to be, and you might be getting subscribers and views, but you're not really gonna feel proud or happy about it because it's not really for the type of content you want to be making. This matcha is wonderful. I'm not usually that good at making them, to be honest. Okay, something else that I think I really have learned over my first year on YouTube is that sometimes you just need to follow your gut. I'm a huge advocate for keyword research, for trying to rank in search, for being strategic about your titles, your thumbnails, your descriptions, etc. But something I've really noticed is that my top performing videos, a lot of times the titles are things that just sort of came to me, like just sort of popped into my head that I thought were clever or that I felt drawn to for some reason, and not titles that were engineered by me searching for keywords. So, and the same thing is sort of true with thumbnails. A lot of the videos that have done the best for me are ones where I was really just having fun and experimenting with the thumbnails and doing something different. I think it's really easy to get hyper fixated on trying to impress the algorithm and getting caught up on keyword research. What's the right title, the right thumbnail to rank and search to get more views? But at the end of the day, you're making content for people. And I think we forget that sometimes. If you can come up with something that's genuinely clever or interesting to people, that's your golden ticket to a successful video, not having a title that is just stuffed with keywords and feels super robotic and not engaging for a human viewer. So for example, if we look at my closet clean out video, the most successful video on my channel so far, the main keyword for that video was extreme closet clean out. I knew in advance that keyword was gonna do really, really well. It's just something that people search so frequently and they're such popular videos, but I knew I wanted to target that keyword, but the title, purging my entire closet because I want to be a minimalist, that just kind of popped into my head. I thought it was cool, I thought it was clever, and I thought it was different. If I had just titled that video Extreme Closet Clear Out 2022, like every other single person has titled such videos, I don't think the video would have done as well as it did, because it was something different and fresh on people's search results, and I really think that that difference helped to let me stand out even amongst a lot of bigger creators that were making videos on that. So if an idea just kind of pops into your brain and you come up with something you think is clever, don't worry too much about whether you think it's right or it's gonna do well. Sometimes you just need to go for it, and it might end up being one of your top performers. So yeah, that's that on that. Okay, I need to put this tripod down. My arm is killing me. All right, this next one is something that I messed up too. Definitely one of my bigger mistakes, in my opinion, that held me back from growing faster. And it is, don't wait too long to upgrade. I did this for sure. This is my first video on this new camera, and for so long I had the thought in my mind, okay, I think my editing's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the actual content of my videos, but my quality doesn't look professional enough. Like, my audio is not good enough. It's harder to sit through my video videos because of the audio quality. I was filming all my videos on my phone, and in my opinion, the phone visual is actually really good. Like, the cameras on your phone are really, really good. If there's one thing that you need to upgrade first, it's genuinely your audio, because phone audio is not very great. It's capturing way too much of the room sound. It's not focused enough, and it was also just like not really loud enough. So in a lot of my earlier videos, the music was really overpowering, and you had to put the volume all the way up on the video to even hear what I was saying. And that's not gonna make for an engaging video. Like, I'm really realizing loud audio is the way to go. Like, you wanna be able to hear what you're saying clearly. And I just wish that I could go back and tell myself months ago, like, hey, upgrade your equipment, because a couple months into YouTube, like, I was posting every week. I knew that it was something that I was gonna stick with. By all means, use your phone, use crappy quality equipment when you get started just to get you started. But once you realize, hey, this is something that I think I'm gonna wanna stick to long term, like, upgrade as soon as you can. There's really no reason not to. Like, you're spending the same amount of money whether you do it now or later, but you're going to have such better quality videos earlier. And I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours making videos on my channel that could have been so much better if I had upgraded the quality sooner. And that is something that really does bother me, because I really like a lot of those videos, but I'm aware that I was holding myself back. I'll have all of the gear that I just bought linked down below if you guys are interested in getting the same things. I really like this camera. It's super small, super easy to use. I just have it on a mini tripod with a mini Rode microphone. The tripod and the mic, I think, were like both under $100, I believe, and the camera was maybe like $700. I was able to get the whole setup for under $1,000, which is really not too bad. So that's honestly probably my biggest regret so far, is that I just didn't do this sooner. I think a very common struggle for newer creators is just trying to figure out what type of content to create. There's this whole concept of niches that's really, really preached in the YouTube growth space. You need to find your niche, you need to stick to it, etc. Honestly, take some of that pressure off yourself. I think that's something that's found through making videos and not something that you should know before you start. But something that I really realized in this first year is that the best place to look for content ideas is the content that you like to watch. Create the type of content that you like to watch. It kind of sounds like it should be obvious or self-explanatory, but there are videos that I've created that I myself wouldn't click on if one of the creators that I watch were to upload something like that. I think it really helps to think of yourself as kind of your own target audience. Like, you're gonna be most proud and excited about creating content that you would also like to consume, because it's the topics you're genuinely interested in, it's the style you like. I also think it's just a lot easier to feel confident in your channel when you're creating content that you genuinely think is cool. If you're struggling to figure out what you like and what your taste is and what you want to create, I think more often than not, look at your favorite creators, look at what you love about them, and your answers are there, you know? Especially when you're just starting out and you don't have a great idea of your own style or your own brand yet, it can be really helpful to look towards your favorite creators for inspiration. Something that I did when I was really trying to figure out the direction of my channel was I created a list of all of my favorite creators at the time and what specifically I liked about them and their videos. So it could be anything from editing style to the backgrounds that they would use, the fonts they used, the type of content they were making, the topics they were discussing. So for example, a creator like Lynette Adkins, I really liked that she was talking about spirituality and self-development, but also more about business and content creation. I thought she had a really cool combination of topics on her channel. Catherine Manning, I liked how clean and easy to watch her videos are, and I liked some of the sound effects that she was using, some of the like clicks and transitions. Maddie Drasbeck, I liked the aesthetic elements of her videos, how soothing they were, how personal they were. So I made this huge list of my favorite creators, different elements I liked about their channels, and then I could really draw inspiration, be like, okay, I like this element of this creator, this element of this creator, and began sort of mixing those things together to find my own style and the type of content that I most like to make based on what I like about the creators I consume. Doing this type of method is really cool because by taking different pieces of creators you look up to and sort of trying to mix it all with your personality, you're gonna end up creating like something very unique for yourself. You might be mixing the shot types of a lifestyle channel with the topics of a spiritual channel, or the calming aesthetics of your favorite vlog channel with more educational content. Like, you can really create like really cool combinations that are like specifically catered to you, your interests, and your tastes. I feel like I killed that clip. Okay. The last thing that I just really want to stress is that YouTube is a long game. I think it's so easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to creators who have been on the platform for years longer than you have, and seeing these bigger creators, seeing how high quality their videos are and how amazing their thumbnails are and how everything just looks so professional and put together, and getting really frustrated when your content doesn't look like that. But if you look back to the beginning of a lot of people's channels, the people who have actually kept their first few videos up, you'll see that their thumbnails were crappy too, and their quality sucked, and it took them years and years to get to where they are now. So just remember to be patient with yourself, and if things feel impossible right now, they're not always going to feel like that. Because YouTube also is such a long game and you're not gonna probably see high numbers for a long time, I think it's also important not to rely on your metrics and your analytics for motivation, because realistically there's not gonna be much there, and there's not gonna be much there for a while. So there's no point to like obsessively checking your analytics, hoping that there's gonna be some sort of traction there that wasn't there yesterday. Like, forget about all of that and find other sources of motivation that will keep you going and keep you creating. Because genuinely, I think if you're able to get through the first few months of like 0 validation, 0 views, then you're really set. But a lot of people can't make it through that period because they're so dependent on that external validation. Something that really helps me to stay motivated is just picturing my future self, my future lifestyle, and how YouTube could help me get there. Thinking about where I was a year ago and how I would have died to be in the place I'm in now. Thinking about how close I am to being monetized. Focusing on small little wins and milestones, you know, every 50 subscribers, every 100 subscribers, taking that as a big win, even if it's, you know, just 200 subscribers, 500 subscribers, like celebrate those things. I really think that if you're in a place where you feel like growth is impossible or unattainable, think back to your past self, think about where you are now felt unattainable, and how the goals that you're looking forward to, whether that's 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, they might feel really far away and impossible now, but before you know it, you're gonna be looking back at this moment thinking, if only I had known. It was right around the corner. So that is what I have learned, and some of the terrible mistakes that I've made in my first year on this platform. I wanna keep talking about things that I learn and this whole process. Definitely am going to talk about getting monetized when that happens. Like I said, every piece of gear, every tool and service that I have used and loved during this journey so far are always linked in the description bar of my videos if you want to check them out. Don't forget to thumbs this video up, subscribe if you haven't already, you know, gotta do all the plugs, and I will see you guys next week with another one. Also, let me know how you are liking the new quality. I hope you can hear a difference in the audio. I love you guys. See you next time.
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're